Hello everybody, Crafty Heart Studio, Anna, and I got my two little helpers here. One helper, no, can't see you. Another helper, okay. Although they're not going to be really helping me, but they have their own little projects they want to do. They're making like little mushrooms with little glitter. Like here's an example of what they're making. So kind of cute. So they're going to do their own stuff. And they want some of my resin, and I am making another clock. My son asked for one because everybody else got one, and now he says, hey, how come my room doesn't have one? And him being a boy, I asked him what kind of clock does he want, and he said he wants a soccer ball. So we're just gonna go over this fast. He wants his numbers in blue. We're gonna be having blue numbers. I got my bag for that. I got my thing. We got my resin, which I'm going to share with my little helpers that are not helping. The base is going to be white, obviously. So we're going to do some white resin. And then I bought this sticker online. This is just an outline. So once the white dries, we're going to put up the sticker of the clock. And then we're going to put the numbers and put some clear. So let's just pretty much start. The mold, I sprayed it with a release lubricant. I love this stuff. This works great. I got my white, and let's do it. So first what I'm going to do, I'm going to move my mold out a little bit because I need to, the resin is mixed already. So the girlies, I am going to just pour some resin for you separately, and you can do whatever you girls want. There you go. Is that enough for you?
Yeah.
Have fun. Okay. So we're gonna take for my white. Not white, I'm sorry, for my blue. For the numbers. Okay. I think this is enough. Just in case, I'll put a little more. Make it like 70, but I think this is more than plenty. This should be a fast and easy project. So blue, he wants blue numbers. And we don't want it to be see-through. I want it solid. So we're going to put a little more of mica powder. This is Let's Resin blue mica powder. Okay, that's nice. Next, white base. 200, this should be sufficient. I don't want it translucent, I want it white. Not milky, not clear, not off. I want it white, so we're gonna have to give it a good mix. Okay, pretty white. So my first, I already sprayed my mold. So right now, all I'm gonna do is literally just pour my now I want to move this aside because this needs to dry completely. And what am I gonna do? Oh, always. Can I ever do it differently? No. Am I a klutz?
No.
Yes. You girls just being nice to me, aren't you?
Yeah, of course.
So let me move that aside. I do need my the dust cover. Okay. So I'm gonna try and cover that. So while we're working, the dust is not flying in. Yes?
Yeah.
Next thing we're doing is I need to take a cup like that. I'm taking my baggie. I'm gonna take my baggie. I'm gonna take my blue resin. I'm gonna here, girls, I got some blue resin left too.
Okay.
You wanna scrape that up for yourself?
Yeah. Should we put it? Okay, Maya.
Oh wow, it's really warming up. I'm gonna cut that off. Okay, now I gotta fix this. Because it got a little bit overfilled on some of them. I made the hole a little bit too big, that's why it kept doing that. But girlies, I have more blue for you. Okay, so made a little mess. Girls are doing the mushrooms. They still have a little bit of like all kind of a glittery stuff, and they're doing another mushroom, and they're doing boxes and more mushroom. So whatever the girls are doing, let them do it. You having fun?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. So we're gonna let all of this dry. We're gonna let this dry, and hope for the best. Yay! See you soon. Okay, I ran into a few problems. As I try to do my numbers, I will show you. So like this one came out nice and fine, but some of them have little bubbles here and there, which I don't like. And as it turned out, and I did not think of that ahead, I don't know why, I will need 5 number 1s and 2 number 2s. So as I try to do them, I keep getting the bubbles, and then every time I need to wait for, like this one is okay, and then this one came out like all bubbly too, so like I have to scrap this. So I decided to try something completely different and new, and instead of waiting for so long because I'm impatient, I got myself a UV resin starter kit. Yep. So let's just get this done. I want to see if this will work better. I'm gonna need my colorant. My little helpers over here making more noise than needed. Ah, look how cute it came with a little silicone mat.
Yeah.
If I can ever open it, because it's kind of stuck together. Not that I need another one, and this one is a small one, but I'm assuming if you're using... Yeah, how about we do that? Keep our area clean. I looked up while I'm getting this stuff out. So here's the resin. There's two of them. They're the same from what I understand. There's no mixing involved. I looked at a few videos and got myself familiar with a little bit of this. So if I understand correctly, there's no need to shake or mix or do anything like that. We're just gonna open this up. And there is a little lamp. I'm gonna plug that in. And I'm going to try and do my numerals this way. Oh, how cute that is. Look at that thing. So you need the UV light. Comes with a little wire. I will plug that in. Okay, looks like it works. Perfect. Let me move this box out. I have never used UV resin before. I'm as new to this as some of you guys are. Like I said, I did watch a few videos. I don't know if I'm going to use this one or mine. Makes no difference. I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to start with very little. Because like I said, I've never done this before. If I understand correctly, once you add mica powder, you need to add very little because it might not cure if you add too much colorant. So we're going to try and do it very sparingly. I clean my mold. And we are going to try and do it just like that. Use this little spatula. Because like I said, waiting like pretty much 12 hours for one number, and it did not come out perfect. I did a second batch and it did not come out. Some of them were okay, but then I needed another one and I rushed. So I was like, you know what, this is just taking forever. So let's try and do this a fast way. And this came to mind. It's not supposed to shrink, but I kind of do want to bring it to the top. And put that aside. You can always, since you're only mixing in the color, what I would want to do is kind of go over my corners where usually my bubbles occurred and see what happens this time. So, and if I understand correctly, I just put this lamp right over, I turn it on, and let's give it 90 seconds. Since I have color and I really want for it to cure, and I will obviously speed this up, but let's see what happens. I am super curious. Okay. So first things first, what I see, it definitely heated up a little bit. So I would think maybe give it a second to, oh, I already see a bubble. Huh. But I'm curious if it cured. I mean, it did cure. Maybe it's still... So it did not cure completely. It's a little sticky. Question, do I give it more time? There is a teeniest little bubble over here. It's barely visible, but I already touched it and it's no longer shiny. So, question, what did I do wrong? Maybe we should just hold it longer. Let's try this again, because I still have this, and 60 seconds would definitely not be enough. So my option are 60 seconds, 90 seconds, and 150 seconds. I would do 60 seconds twice. Let's try this again. And while I'm doing that, you know what I'm going to do? Is I'm going to put this guy to see if it dries up more. So let's do 60 seconds, and then when that ends, I'm going to do another 60 seconds. So let's look at this one first. So this one is... No, I would say it's still a little bit sticky. So let's look at this guy. So the top part feels dry, and it does pop pretty easily. I'm not gonna touch the front. I would say it's still a little sticky. So we need to use a lot less color. Can I use this, guys? Technically, yes. Keep them aside. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a few more of these. I'm gonna do all the numbers. I don't need those space bars. They are for when you don't only use 4 numbers. So I think this is sufficient for now, maybe a little more. I like that I don't need to mix it, and it comes like that easily. So I'm gonna use a lot less of the mica powder. It's very pretty and shimmery, and it has this nice effect. I just need it to dry now. But yeah, it's pretty much bubble free, which I kind of like. There's very little bubble. So I'm gonna fill this in. I'm gonna fill all of the numbers. I can't say that I like them. And they're still sticky. I'm curious if I flip them over without touching them. Ah. I'm gonna try. They're not perfect. They're far from it, actually. It's not completely wet, but I wouldn't call it completely dry. It kind of leaves the fingerprints on. And it doesn't go more than that. Let me try a different approach like I did with the 0. I only filled it halfway. I'm gonna get rid of all the bubbles for sure. And I want to try and do a second layer and see if that does a better job. Let's see, this was a double layered. I don't have a complete cure. My second option that my mold is not right for this, but then I would not understand why not. In my head, they work well together. So I'm gonna clean that off and trying to do something different. I mixed up a little bit of the resin and I put a little bit of a glow in a dark powder in it. I didn't mix up, I used some of that UV resin. And now I'm gonna try and cover. I wonder if I leave it overnight, will it cure more? I still feel like it's a little sticky. But it doesn't leave my fingerprints on anymore, so well, let's see. But that is still a little bit of a color in it. Like I said, it's not a color. It is a glow-in-the-dark powder that I put in. Now this too, I am trying to do with just clear resin, do the tops and see if they would still be sticky. But got better, I gotta say. I already have 5 ones, look at that. I just need one more too. A tiny sticky, but so it makes no difference. I'm going to continue using this one, glow in the dark, and the worst case scenario, my resin will glow in the dark. Do I have enough? That is another story. How about that? They are very shiny. They are no longer sticky. They don't leave my fingerprints on them. But I still want to be very gentle, and I still want them to dry a little more. But I think I achieved what I needed. They are not... I'll show you compared to this guy. See how raggedy that is? And how many bubbles? And then the mold is not perfect, so it does not leave it perfectly shiny. Now, look in comparison. Yes, this is a little lighter color. I'm okay with that. Yay. Just now I need to put them on. Okay, that's the next step. I'm back. I am ready to do the fun part. Actually create my clock. I will still need to dry. I am happy with the numbers, the way they came out. I gave them overnight to completely cure, and they did. A little bit of sunlight also helped. They are way shinier than what I would have gotten. Hence, I used the regular mold, but again, I could not get rid of all those bubbles. I kept having the bubbles and waiting for 5 number 1s and 2 number 2 and just getting everything perfect just took forever. And this probably was a good idea to use UV resin. So this was my first time. You saw me unpack it. I probably want to use it more and on some of those small projects. This might actually do a good job. So let's not waste any more time. This is going to be a tricky part. So my white base has dried up. Ooh, the light. It's a lot of light. That's okay. Like I said, this is a sticker that I purchased, and it is 14 inches. What I also did is I marked my mold with a black Sharpie on top to show me where the numbers are going to be. So when I do my placement, really probably does not matter much the way this is done. Also, let me see. Oh yeah, you can still see the numbers. Even though some of them will be laying against the black, I think this is going to work out nicely. First things first, this is a decal, and we will need to remove the backing. Oh, this is so satisfying. And I hope it's going to work out the way I hope it's going to work out. So first of all, yes, yes, and yes. Even here, we're going to give this a little cut. Where's my scalpel? There we go. Perfect. Okay, so there will be bubbles. We're gonna have to remove the bubbles. I can feel the bubbles. Let's fix that up before it gets out of hand. Okay, now let's hope. I also like how that just picked up all of the dust, if any of it settled. Still little bubbles. We'll fix that up. Aha! How cool is that? So now I just need two. And let's use my scalpel to debubble. This is done. I am going to mix my resin. I did not want to pre-mix it prior to this. I'm going to cover it with the paper because for now it keeps the dust from coming in. And I will be back with you in a few seconds. Resin mixed. I think I went a little bit too much. So let me just start pouring. Let's hope nothing bad is gonna happen to the decal. The only thing we need to do now is debubble without burning. Okay, looks like I got all of the dust. I got all of the bubbles. It looks awesome so far. Oh, more dust. Where is it? Keeps coming. I need to cover this before I get any more dust on it. I'm thinking 2 to 4 hours. I need this to dry. I need it to get tacky and still be able to take in the numbers without shifting, moving, pulling, and I want them to stay where I put them. So, be back soon. Okay, it's been actually just under 2 hours. I guess the conditions in my house right now making it dry a little faster. It is very tacky and sticky, and I am going, this is how I want my clock facing. I believe so. And let's start. This is not going to be easy. I am thinking of using tweezers. So, one, two. This needs to dry completely. I would give it good 24 hours at least before we put in mechanism, but in reality I would give it a good 72 hours, so once you put the mechanism it doesn't warp and bend. So let's just leave it flat. Ideally 3 days. Like I said, all my numbers went down. That works. So see you guys when it's finished for demolding and hands installation. See you soon. Okie dokie. It is all dried up. I am not sure what happened here. Somehow my level is a little lower just on this part. I don't know if you guys can see that. The rest of it is like all nicely filled in and everything. I think my numbers are a little shifted. Like you see, the 4 is not perfectly straight as I want it to be. And I think one of those ones kind of like floated away. But for the most part, it is exactly what I want. We're going to demold. We're going to put in a mechanism. Okay, so far so good. Okay. Like I said, it's just somehow, it just did not float on that side or floated away. I'm not sure what happened. But so far so good. So far so good. Okay, now the middle part. We don't want it to rip. Oh, perfection. That just popped out. Yay. Huh. Interesting. Yes. We'll clean the mold. And the usual, my deburring tool. And just maybe do a circular thing. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. And kind of, yes, make that edge. I love those things. Smooth. Perfection. Yeah, this is where that 11, you will not see it in the long run when the clock is on the wall. Somehow this is super satisfying. I wish I can use those somewhere. They're so funky. Okay, can even do another one. I prefer this over sanding just because it is so much better without the dust. When you sand, you have to put protective gear on not to breathe it in. This does not sand it, it's literally just shaves it and there's no dust flying around. And I find this to be a much easier and again more satisfying process. Perfect. And now we have this perfectly smooth edge. I am not going to be painting the edge. You see how that is? We have the clear and then you can see the numbers actually. And then there's a white. This is more than sufficient for me. Move that aside. I'm sorry guys for this light over here. There's nothing I can do unfortunately. Somehow it's just there. But, oh yeah, and I wanted to do a little bit deburring in the middle. Same thing, it has like a little protrusion. Okay. Comes the mechanism. Ta-da! My son is going to love him. He's been asking for a clock for his room because Maya got one, his sister, and I made one for the Halloween, and then I made one for the one with the I made one for the, oh my goodness, where they do the homework. So the world clock, and now he said, oh wow, Mom, I want one for my room. Done. And it's working, and it is right now. Let's set the clock right. 1:20. just want to make sure that it goes. Yes. Not sure what that is. I'm gonna make a couple of pictures. You guys tell me how you like it. What would you done differently? I'm glad I got to use some of that UV resin with the UV light. That was a cool new addition to my workstation. And you always learn something new with every project. And I hope you guys did too. And please subscribe and leave your comments. And I love your likes. See you next time. Bye. While I was taking pictures, I decided to use a blue metallic brush pen. And I am actually going to paint the hands. Just for the simple reason. Let me see if I can see this. They will be much more better visible versus the black ones. And unfortunately, I did not have blue hands. No, I was able to find them. So I'm going to use this because you see how that blends in, and it is for a kid. So I will take another picture as soon as I'm going to have to remove the battery and take it all out, obviously. And I will redo this, and the pictures will show exactly why. Little update.